Even the whole Michael Rubin thing, I don't play with this, period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, on no funny, weird shit. You feel me? I'm dapping Kuzman up. And Mike happy to see me. He run up on me.
Right.
I got 10 other pictures. We down there. We start down there. Bam, I'm telling his ass, Mike, I'll slam your ass on your neck.
What if the loudest rumor in hip-hop started with one hug and a pink belt? Not a lyric, not a leak, just a split-second photo, a heated rant, and the internet doing what it does best. Connect dots that may not even be on the same page. The names are heavy: Lil Baby, Michael Rubin, Slim Thug, and the takes are louder. But under the noise, there's something real. How image, influence, and a few viral moments can rewrite a story in real time. We're going to pull the thread, not to tell you what to think, but to show you how we got here. It wasn't a diss track, it was a fit. Lil Baby stepped on stage in a tiny tank, short shorts, and a pink belt, pure summer flex, and timelines lit up. One clip turned into 4 angles. Screenshots hit group chats before the performance was even over. Half the comments were jokes. The other half were think pieces written in all caps.
The white party would be there, and then they have Lil Baby like in a sandwich. Like they're hugging him from the front and the back and stuff. And I'm like, yo, get off of him. That's my favorite new artist. Like, yo, get off him. I don't want him going in those cars.
To some, it was fun, hoochie daddy energy, a playful color pop, a reminder that rap doesn't live in one silhouette anymore. Stylists called it a clean pivot, lighter fabrics, tighter cuts, a stage look that actually breathes under hot lights. But the old heads weren't buying it: the walk, the belt, the thighs. They saw a message, not just an outfit. Then Young Jock popped up in a cropped sweater mid-performance and poured fuel on the debate. Now it wasn't just one rapper's style choice, it looked like a trend, a shift. The comments turned into a barbershop with no off switch. When did we stop with tall tees? When did rap turn runway? When did comfort turn into costume?
Lil Baby, you'd have been somebody's baby. You got on the white sorority girl shorts right now. With the thigh tats out is crazy. I can see that those backshot hugs that Michael Rubin was giving you have taken full effect.
Nobody agreed, but everybody was loud. Enter Slim Thug. He didn't whisper. He sounded like a coach who'd watched the team forget the playbook. He brought up the white tee era, the grease under the nails energy, the we fix our own cars pride. In his eyes, this wasn't fashion evolving, it was the culture drifting. The subtext hit harder than the words: real versus performative, grit versus gloss, code versus clout. And that's why his rant stuck. It wasn't just about shorts. It was a line in the sand about what rap is supposed to look like when the cameras are on and the kids are watching. For some fans, he said the quiet part out loud. For others, he sounded like gatekeeping with better lighting. Either way, the algorithm smiled. The clips looped.
Mike. Man, Mike.
I'm gonna come hug you right now. I'm coming to hug you. Big hug. Get everyone to love each other.
Now this did it though.
The stitches multiplied. Every scroll felt like a vote, but fashion was just the spark. The moment the internet dug up one familiar photo, the conversation jumped from clothes to connections. And that's when the picture everyone thought was over kept coming back. A snapshot from Michael Rubin's all-white party. One frozen frame, Lil Baby hugged from behind, a split-second smile, 10 people in the background doing 10 different things. On a normal day, you scroll past, double tap, and move on. Not this time. The repost hit like a drum line. Captions got louder than the picture. Crops got tighter. Zooms got closer. Each edit shaved off more context and added more meaning. Then the celebrity echo kicked in. A high-profile repost with a blunt "what is this?" turned curiosity into a spectacle. Memes flooded the feed. Threads popped up trying to decode body language like it was a crime scene. One frame turned into 100 theories.
And me and Mike Rubin, we had the best conversations ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause he also like damn near fascinated with the way I live,
Right.
and I'm fascinated with the way he lives. So we like meet in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to tell him like all the black moguls, and I ain't gonna say all cause Swiss Beats, he's the one.
Nobody asked what happened 5 seconds earlier or 10 seconds later. The moment became the message. That's the thing about party photos. They're Rorschach tests. You don't see the room, you see your bias. If you think Baby's image is controlled, the photo feels like proof. If you think it's harmless, the photo is a joke that went too far. Either way, the algorithm rewards certainty, not nuance. The more confident the take, the further it travels. And the setting mattered. Rubin's parties live in that space where access looks like power and a selfie looks like a contract. Courtside seats, billionaire circles, no phone rules until the right camera comes out. The optics are loud even when the facts are quiet.
People were just making jokes. They knew what it was.
But let's keep this real. The amount of people who I've, in a 13-hour drunken party, okay, that I've jumped on their back and someone's caught a picture is like, I've done that 1,000 times.
Add Slim Thug's What Happened to White Tees energy from Section 1, and the hug shot wasn't just a hug anymore. It became a symbol people could weaponize, laugh at, or rally behind. By the end of the week, the image had a life of its own. It stopped being a picture and started being the receipt. Comment sections turned into courtrooms with 0 judges and infinite juries. The verdict changed by the hour, but the headline stayed the same. Something's going on, right? That pressure landed squarely on Lil Baby. Staying silent would let the meme write his story. Speaking up might make it louder. He chose to talk. So Lil Baby tried to take control, and that only made it louder. When Baby finally spoke, he didn't crack a joke or brush it off. He let you know it bothered him. Not just the memes. The idea that a split-second frame could rewrite his whole reputation.
Now, I will tell you that, like, in my head, that ain't happening anymore. Just because I won't, like, if it was me, I would think it's funny, but it actually hurt him a little bit for a year, and that ate at me. That did eat at me. But you know what, again?
On the podcast, he explained the moment like it was nothing more than playful energy at a party. He even said he pulled security footage to show the full clip and then decided not to post it. In a normal world, that sounds mature. In internet world, it sounds like waving a receipt you'll never scan. That's the paradox. The more you say you could prove something, the more people demand you do it. And if you don't, the silence becomes Exhibit A. Now every comment had ammo. If it's innocent, drop the video. If it's fake, shut them up. And because he didn't, the narrative kept running without him. Then came the story post. Short, cryptic, a warning about people talking tough until things get real. It lived on his page for minutes, maybe an hour, then vanished. But screenshots move faster than regrets. Blogs grabbed it, fan pages added arrows and circles.
Shit happening. Shit going on, man. Shit happening. Shit going on. This is not a fire drill. It's a real thing.
Dominique, do you want to do the toast? Do you want to do the honors now?
One of y'all?
Nobody needed a tag to guess who it was aimed at. The timing lined up too neatly. Slim Thug was already in the mix, and the internet loves a clean matchup. From there, the back and forth moved beyond facts. It turned into optics. On one side, a superstar insisting a moment got twisted. On the other, a timeline that treats every deletion like a confession. You could feel the PR calculus tugging at him. Say too much and you feed the beast. Say too little and you look rattled. Either way, the meme stays winning. There's also the pride factor. Baby built a brand on composure. No messy interviews, no endless clapbacks. So when he finally did address it, people read tone like it was a contract. Was he annoyed? Defensive? Calm? Every pause became a paragraph. Every shrug became a storyline. That's how it works when your life is content. Even your restraint gets analyzed frame by frame. And still, nothing settled. The fans who believed him believed harder. The ones who didn't found new angles. The hug became a symbol. The deleted post became a breadcrumb. The mention of security footage became a dare no one expected him to take. Meanwhile, the conversation kept drifting from a single photo to the bigger question. Had something in his image shifted, or were people just looking for a shift to blame him for? That's when the visuals changed. Not a caption, not a story, but ink you can't scroll past. Then came the turn nobody expected from the no tattoos guy. For years, Lil Baby's thing was no ink. He said he kept his skin clean on purpose. Boardrooms, first impressions, never give anyone an easy label. It fit the brand. Focused, disciplined, bigger than rap. Then he popped out with bold letters down each thigh. 90s on one, Baby on the other, plus CBFW along the leg. The pics didn't just trend, they rewired expectations in real time.
That nigga got all up in your backfield. When that man said he was gonna hit the hole hard, he was not talking about an Eagles game. And from the looks of it, that put up 262 yards on the ground.
Fans asked the obvious. Why now? Maybe it's growth. Maybe it's comfort. Maybe it's finally wearing the words he's been living. But because he was the no tattoos guy, the switch felt louder. Placement mattered too. Thigh ink isn't background, it's center frame on stage, especially with the newer, tighter fits. The message wasn't whispered, it was visible in motion. Speculation did what speculation does. Some said the letters were pure homage to the era that made him. Others tried to decode CBFW like a vault code, assigning meanings that ranged from motivational to conspiratorial. That's the internet. If you don't define the symbol, the crowd will. Still, tattoos don't prove a theory. They project a vibe, and a vibe is enough for a timeline to run with. What's undeniable is the contrast. The guy who once avoided ink to keep doors open now wears statements you can't scroll past. Evolution or strategy depends on what you already believe. Either way, the narrative shifted from he wouldn't to he did, and that shift made every other choice look intentional. But the next plot point wasn't aesthetic. It was arithmetic. A number so big it stopped the jokes mid-scroll. Here's what Baby put on the record. In one marathon casino binge, roughly 40 hours, he lost about 8 to 9 million. That number made people stop scrolling. Then he said he asked to be banned from casinos, and Michael Rubin helped by writing letters so the ban would stick. To supporters, that sounded like accountability and a real friend stepping in when self-control slipped. To skeptics, it sounded like a boss protecting an asset. Now stack that with the party photos and the courtside shots. The narrative wrote itself. Billionaire fixes messes, keeps the star on track, keeps the brand clean. Is that a conspiracy or just how power networks work? Depends on what you already believe. And once people pick a side, even logical explanations start to look suspicious. That's how rumors grow teeth, not by proving anything, but by giving people a story that makes emotional sense.
Mike, get up off me, dog. You heard me, Mike? Get up off me, man. Look, this man on my legs, y'all. Get this man.
Don't be making fun of me when I'm drunk. You're gonna get another drunken hug tonight. I don't care what anyone says.
And speaking of stories, this is where the internet turned into a courtroom with no judge. Let's draw a bright line. Receipts. There's a viral hug photo, a famous party host, a podcast where Baby says the jokes bothered him and mentions security footage he didn't release, a giant gambling loss, and Rubin's letters helping the casino ban. Rumors. The Sugar Baby label, the idea Baby's entire rise came from Rubin, and the wilder claims about his private life. Those are unverified. If you hear people say, that's not proof, that's echo. Jayda Cheaves, who knows Baby better than most, has spoken about the breakup being messy in public, but she hasn't confirmed the whispers people try to attach to her. Fans fill gaps, blogs chase clicks, captions turn question marks into periods. Suddenly, a vibe at a party becomes a secret agreement, and philanthropy photos turn into evidence. It's convenient. It's also flimsy. Still, Slim Thug's post gave the rumor mill cover. If the OG is disappointed, it must be deeper than clothes, right? Maybe. Or maybe it's just a generational argument playing out in front of millions. Which brings us back to the man who kicked this hornet's nest in the first place. Slim Thug's point wasn't just fashion, it was foundation. He sees rap as a code. How you talk, how you dress, what you respect. To him, short shorts and crop tops are the wrong signal. Not edgy, but off mission. For a chunk of fans, that hits home. For others, it's gatekeeping dressed up as wisdom. Hip-hop has always evolved, and every evolution looks like a betrayal to someone who preferred the last version. That's why his rant stuck. It wasn't random shade. It was a referendum on where rap is headed. Tie that to a billionaire party and a messy breakup and a high-stakes gambling story, and suddenly Baby isn't just a rapper, he's a symbol. For some, he's the proof the culture got soft. For others, he's the proof the rules were fake to begin with. Zoom out and you see two uniforms colliding. The street uniform, boxy tees, heavy denim, steel-toed attitude versus the luxury uniform, tailored cuts, runway colors, courtside optics. One signals grit. The other signals access. Both claim authenticity, just to different audiences. Regional pride plays into it. So does age. So does who signs your checks. There's also the masculinity layer. Old codes say toughness is understatement. Don't show too much, don't try too hard. New codes say confidence is display. Wear what you want and dare them to blink. Social feeds reward the second one. Outrage travels faster than nuance, and every outfit becomes a referendum on manhood in 30 seconds or less. You can hate the fit and still admit the music speaks. You can love the fit and still admit the optics are loud. Both can be true. The friction isn't just about shorts, it's about who gets to define real in a culture that keeps changing the locks. So what do we do with a story built from angles more than answers? Strip the noise and you're left with a simple question. Who gets to decide what a real rapper looks like? And who gets to hold the mic on your story when you're not in the room? Image is a currency, so is friendship, so is outrage. When a billionaire throws a party, when an OG scolds the room, when a star admits a stumble, the internet combines those currencies and spends them all at once. Here's what we actually know. Lil Baby worked himself into a position where he can lose millions in 2 days and still show up to work. He built a catalog that doesn't need a +1 to chart. He's also human, vulnerable to a bad decision, a bad angle, and a bad faith comment that goes nuclear in 20 minutes. Michael Rubin is powerful, connected, and yes, the kind of guy who writes a letter and gets a reply. That's influence. It isn't automatically a secret contract. As for the rest, rumors suggest a lot, reports claim even more. But people talking isn't the same as truth. If you want the full picture, demand evidence that survives outside the caption. Because the real story might be less dramatic and more interesting. Not a hidden puppet show, but a tug of war between nostalgia and evolution, privacy and performance, myth and man. And if you think that ends the conversation, it won't. Maybe this was never about a pink belt, a hug, or a new tattoo. Maybe it's about who gets to define toughness in 2025, who gets to change without permission, and how fast a rumor can become someone's personality online. If you're convinced it's all smoke and mirrors, ask what proof you'd accept. If you're certain it's all innocent, ask why the optics keep backfiring. Either way, the next frame is already loading.